Hi there guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jeanna and I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. I specialize in self-love and perfectionism. Today I am actually going to share our weekly dinners. So right now we are living in Scotland and I have a 21-month-old, almost 22-month-old, and he is not picky at all, which is such a blessing. So in this video, I'm going to share all of our weekly dinners. So from Monday through Sunday, everything that we eat for those meals. Sometimes we have homemade meals and sometimes we have things that are a little bit more convenient. Just to keep it real around here, I specialize in authenticity. I like to show the real side of life. I think that keeps us grounded, keeps us connected as humans because we are all humans, we fail, we're not perfect, and I wanted to showcase that in my life as well. So some of these things I do make. I get a lot of these recipes online, which I will share some of the inspirational links down below. And also, if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. I also share some efficiency hacks throughout this video because I do have a toddler and need to get dinner on the table quickly. I also have a husband who works and lives out of town for a few weeks at a time to a month, so I am used to getting things on the table pretty quickly. Anyway, that's enough from me and let's get into it. So this week I went for more of some Mediterranean dishes that I've never tried before. Just chopping up some chicken into little bite-sized pieces like so. I have some asparagus. This is actually something I learned online. You don't need to chop off the woody bits. You literally just snap it. Whenever it snaps, that is where it needs to come off. So I just added some chicken in the pan. That was actually some sun-dried tomatoes that I had from a while ago that I needed to use up. I added in those chopped up asparagus, and I went ahead and had 3 different types of raviolis. I went ahead and put them in the pan to cook. And set my timer for 4 minutes, which is the average time that they need to cook. And then this is all the toppings with my ravioli put together, all cooked, ready to go. I went ahead and drained my ravioli like so. When the ravioli's done, it will stick together a little bit, so I did add a little bit of olive oil, mixed some pesto together with a little bit of water just to thin it out a little bit, and topped that on top of the ravioli and the chicken mixture, plus some chopped tomatoes. And that is it. It was a pretty easy dish to put together. For Tuesday's dinner, I did another one of my Mediterranean dishes. So I'm just putting some garlic in a bowl with some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and as well as some chopped potatoes. These are just mini potatoes. Mix that through, put them on the pan, ready to go in the oven. I also had some beef meatballs that I put on the pan, ready to go. They went in the oven at the same time as the potatoes, making this a super easy dish to put together because everything can kind of cook at the same time. This is also just a little hack. I wanted to put some quinoa in my dish, so I just got a microwavable one already cooked and added that together in the bowl. I also had some toppings. I had some pea shoots, lamb's lettuce, as well as some red pesto that was left over from another dish. Added some feta, some red onions, cucumber on top, and kind of just mixed it all together just like the other dish from the night before. And that was it. For Wednesday night's dinner, we usually go to my in-laws' house, and this evening my mother-in-law made a chicken pie. So it is basically chicken, peas in like a creamy sauce, kind of like a chicken pot pie with some, you'll see some like phyllo or some pastry on the side there that they kind of just place on top. There were some boiled potatoes, some croquettes as well, with some carrots, some broccoli, and some sugar snap peas. I'm always thankful when I don't have to cook dinner, so this was a really lovely meal to have with my family, and we try to do this at least once a week. For Thursday night's dinner, I decided to make some salmon burgers. So you just take some canned salmon, I added in some salt and pepper, put some lemon juice in there with some natural breadcrumbs, You can use panko. This was their version, Paxo, I guess. I added in some garlic powder as well. I popped in 1 egg and cut up a nice big chunk of cilantro. Just mix that together to form a nice pasty mixture. Went ahead and chopped up some sweet potatoes more into like a fry shape. We usually do little like triangles, but I wanted to do something different tonight. Added in some avocado oil and went ahead and popped those in the oven. Here I'm just forming my salmon burgers. I made 2 big ones with 1 small one for my son. Went ahead and added some avocado oil into the pan and cooked them about 4 to 5 minutes each side. Here are my whole grain buns with lots of topping options. And here is everything put together. I have some beets, the sweet potatoes, some cucumber, coleslaw, added in some greens on my bun, and some mayo. Delicious. For Friday, I decided to make a soup. My husband made some broth on Sunday, so we had a ton of that, and I had all these leftover carrots. So I went ahead and chopped them up, put them into a pan with some chopped up onion, big chunks, and I'm gonna roast these in the oven just to give it a nice flavor. In order to roast them, I put some avocado oil on, some cinnamon just to bring out that nice sweet flavor of the carrots, as well as some cumin. Added in some smashed garlic and charred them nice and good, but not enough to burn them. Here I'm just putting all of those roasted veggies into a blender. Super easy to just take the parchment paper and just slide everything in, mess-free. Measuring out my broth. I needed about 3 cups here. I did heat this broth up a little bit in the microwave just to give it a little bit more heat. Poured that into the blender with some ground up ginger. I would have used some fresh, but I ended up using some dried that I had already. Here I'm adding a little bit of coconut milk. I had a can in my pantry. And just a little dash of lime just to bring out some of those flavors. Blended this up nice and long. And here is what it looked like after I blended it. Nice orange golden color. I still need to heat this up, so I am going to pour it into a pan. Obviously taste testing first, just to make sure I don't need to add any more seasoning, maybe salt or pepper. But looks good. So I'm heating this up on the pan now. And I have all of these options to make some sandwiches on the side. Most of these things are leftovers from the week, so I wanted to put some things together for that. Here I'm just steaming some mushrooms. We have a loaf of sourdough bread that we are going to use for our sandwiches. I just had 1 sandwich per person. And then again, I'm using that pesto that I used for Tuesday's dinner with the meatballs. And I'm just using it up and using it in a different way, which I love doing with different foods and especially condiments. And I'm just sliding some on the slices of bread. I have my steamed mushrooms with some basil going on the sandwich as well. I added in some cheese. This is my husband's. This is just cheddar cheese. I added some goat's cheese to mine just because it's something we needed to use. And those are the meatballs from Tuesday's dinner. Again, I just heated them up in the microwave. There was only those left, so I went ahead and sliced them up and put them on the sandwiches, divided them between the three of us. This is a great way to use up leftovers. I love doing this throughout the week, and that's kind of how I create my menu as well. Just putting that sandwich together, tasting my soup, make sure it's good to go, and that is Friday night's dinner. Super easy, nice homemade soups, super cozy. I love it. Saturday was again a family day, so we ended up hosting our family at our place. These are just Chinese takeout dishes. I ended up having on my plate some brown rice. I had some sweet and sour chicken with some spring rolls and noodles with some chicken as well. We had some veggies in the freezer that I ended up putting on my son's plate as well as mine. It's just a mixture of corn, broccoli, and grated carrot. So I wanted to have some vegetables on the side because usually when we get takeout, we don't have vegetables. So that is super important to me. But yeah, as you can see, we have a very balanced diet where some of it's homemade and very healthy, and sometimes we do have things out. Just wanted to show the real, authentic week that we have. It's not perfect, but it is our actual food that we are eating throughout the week, and it is very balanced. So just wanted to show that side of it. This is our Saturday night Chinese takeout. And lastly, we are finishing the week with a nice chili. So I have some ground beef already going. I have a spice mixture, which I'll show later on. And I'm just going to chop up some potatoes. So I grew up eating chili just on its own, maybe with some like muffins on the side, some cornbread muffins, but the people in the UK eat it over rice or potatoes. So I decided to take the other half of the potatoes that I used on Tuesday. Here's my son just begging for me to come play. Chop those up, and then I have some peppers, some onions, and some garlic, which I magically chopped up in 2 seconds. I added all of this into the already cooked ground beef in the pan. Let that cook for a little bit, and here are my spices. I have cumin, paprika, and chili powder. Also have some red kidney beans, some tomato sauce, and some finely chopped tomatoes, which I will add in now. Just going ahead and mixing that all together, as well as putting all my spices in too. Once that's in, I am adding in some frozen corn and some drained red kidney beans. And by that point, I am taking my roasted potatoes out of the oven. I just popped them in with a little bit of garlic powder and some oil. And I'm letting my chili just marinate, sit, cook. And I'm just dividing up the potatoes into our bowls. By this point, the chili is nice and cooked. I didn't add any broth, just to give it a nice, good, thick flavor from the get-go. I'm adding them on top of our potato mixture. And I topped mine with a little bit more goat's cheese. And voila, that is our chili for Sunday night. So that's it. That is what we eat in a week. Again, every week is different. I try to create new meals, go back to some cozy family favorites. So every week looks completely different. This is just 1 week in our life, and I wanted to share it with all of you. I hope you got some inspiration from some of these meals. I do try to keep it quite healthy, quite veggie focused is what I like to call it. Just including a lot of different produce options, just a lot of variety. That's how we like to eat around here, and we like to keep it nice and balanced with some treats thrown in there throughout the week as well. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and like while you're at it. It lets me know that you like these types of videos and that I should make them in the future. I love sharing my meals. I share them all the time on Instagram. Here's my handle right here. And I can't wait to see you over on the gram as well. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.